Our next speaker is Sivan. Sivan is the founder and CEO of Innovation Africa, a nonprofit that brings Israeli solar, agricultural, and water technologies to African villages. Please join me in welcoming Sivan Yaari.
Anu jembele nsana maizi Innovation Africa ankali kumfunira maizi amasa. Ngabaye nagali nekizibu. Be tukozesa maizi agone ngalusiya abana mudwaliro. Atufune ndeja kuidukana.
Sanyukira ino bananywe bale mbona mbona nagaginga kantu kanukona okwaba kwitale okwaba ina. Ne mwebali dedala era ndine masanyu otwa maizi aganyira mayonjo agakuba magera.
Solar water pumping anentera maizi amayonjo mu maka gange.
Umwana obo ekadatu uwokolokadatu asalanga kendi power solar energy da ni ulira lisanyu kusalira kunayi kusola light banga yinza nasalo bachiro nabanga mbona omwana wange light nga buwanga buliwo kale mbanga ni ulira lisanyu ligali kubanga sola light iliwo.
Because we have the solar energy, we keep vaccines in the fridge. We immunize now against tuberculosis, pneumonia, tetanus, measles, diphtheria, and whooping cough. We are proud that children now no longer get such infections because we have the solar energy.
Thank you, Innovation Africa, and thank you, Israel.
I'm really pleased to have been invited to speak at Nefesh because although I'm Israeli, I came back to Israel thanks of Nefesh, so thank you. So before I start telling you about my story, how I got to work in Africa, and why I've been there now for 18 years, and why as a mother, as a Zionist, as an Israeli, I decided to devote my life to bring Israeli innovation. Before I start doing that, how many of you have been to Africa? And when I'm saying Africa, I'm not saying the Sinai, nor Cape Town. It's really no Cape Town or Seychelles. I'm talking really in Africa, in the villages. Please, how many of you? Oh, that's a nice crowd. Where have you been with your? Nairobi? Who else? Mozambique, that's good. Who else? Yes, please. Rwanda, anybody here? Ah, oui, Papa, that's my father. Thank you, with me. Thank you, Daddy. Yeah. Uganda, okay, right. So some of the countries, we are currently working in 7 African countries. So let's start from the beginning. There was no reason for me to be working in Africa. I was born in Rishon LeZion, in the south of Israel, you all know by now. I was born to my father here. He was not a diplomat. He was not a businessman. He was actually unemployed most of the time, right? And because of our financial situation, because he didn't have a job, he decided to take us out of Israel. So this is the time you can boo, because all of you came to Israel. He actually took us out of Israel. but he came back. He took us to France. And in France, my father decided to become making pizza. So he and my mother opened a pizzeria and sold pizza in the market, and me and my brothers were selling pizza when we were off school. Now, after having pizza for dinner and for lunch and for breakfast, I wanted to get better nutrition, so I decided to come to Israel to volunteer in the army. Is that a good idea? Came to the army, volunteered in the army, and then after, I was looking for a job. And that's where it all started. I'm 20 years old, I'm in Israel looking for a job, and then I met an American, a New Yorker. He's also Israeli. His name is Ralph Nakash. Do you know the Nakash family? If you don't know, do you know Jordache jeans? Jordache jeans? Or you're too young for Jordache? You do know Jordache jeans. You do? Okay. So I met him and I asked him for a job. He said, you know, you're a lovely lady. You're really lovely. But your English is not good enough. And most of my businesses are in the US. So I told him, I speak French. And he said, you know what? I'm pleased you told me you speak French because we do have a factory in Madagascar where we manufacture jeans. Why don't you go and do quality control? I said, Madagascar, where is it? He said, it's in Africa. I said, I take the job. I took the job, went to Africa, arrived to the villages, and this is when I saw, real poverty. And that was 18 years ago. I'm today 38 years old. And that's where I saw children with no shoes, looking for water. And we didn't have much. My father only bought me one pair of shoes, maybe two, I'm joking. My father is the best better. But we didn't have anything. So I find myself quite lucky. And we wanted to figure out how we can help. And I figure out that really the solutions are quite simple. And most of the solutions we can find in Israel. I went to the US, got my master's in energy from Columbia University. And the first year, I spoke with my professor, and he told me, go back, with only 2 solar panels, you can make a change. You can install it on the medical center, you can bring light, you can install it on the school, you can bring them light, and make these changes. While I was a student, I met my husband, and that's where we go back to Nefesh Benefesh, who is American, who wanted to make Aliyah. So we came here with our twins. We have the twins were 6 months old. Now we have 3 years. Now, but in between, and now it's been 8 years, I developed Innovation Africa. It's actually an American non-for-profit. It's based in New York. That's where the headquarters. And the mission is simply to bring Israeli innovations. The same technologies that we are using here in Israel to pump water, to grow food, to purify water, we bring them to remote villages. Now, why solar energy? For those of you who have been to Africa, you can tell the lack of energy. Look at the map. This is a satellite picture of Africa at night. This is from 2016, and as you can see, and it says there, 620 million people do not have access to energy still today in Africa. We're talking about a very large continent, 54 countries, and yet, once we leave the airport, there is no electricity. As of today, the non-profit, we have brought solar energy, Israeli technology, to 128 villages. We are in 7 African countries, and we have impacted the lives, and this is a conservative number, trust me, of over 1 million people. Here's a quick list of the villages that we have powered with solar energy. As you can see, the list of the schools, medical centers, orphanages, villages where we have installed solar energy and used the energy to pump water. One of you have been to Uganda. Uganda is our biggest base. 78 villages completed. Tanzania, Ethiopia, Malawi. I just came back from Malawi, and let me tell you, you should Google. There is starvation and famine right now, so we are there drilling for water. South Africa, DR Congo, and Senegal we just entered last year. So only 7 countries out of 54. And here is the situation. Most of the time, people are spending their time searching for wood because the lack of energy. Wood is needed for cooking, wood is needed to warm themselves, and the problem that it's getting more and more difficult to find wood because of deforestation. The second challenge that we have because of the lack of energy is the water. There is no water. We're talking about 358 million people that are searching for water right now. And why there is no water? There is actually plenty of water in Africa. Where is it? Who can guess where we can find water? Underneath, that's correct. What's your name, my love? Shirley. That's right. Shirley said there is actually plenty of water. The water is located in the aquifers. But why people are searching for water? It's because there is no energy to do what? To pump the water. That's all what we need. A few solar panels so we can pump the water. And if we do find water, the water is not good, and as you can see. And it's certainly not enough for also growing food and all of the needs. Now, the solutions are simple and cheap and concrete. The only thing that we do is we bring solar systems to a village to pump water. As simple as this one. The first steps, we bring the drilling machine. Drilling a machine to the villages, re-drill to the aquifer, find the water, usually 30 meters deep, and then use the solar panels to power the pump. The pump is then pumping the water to a tank, and from the tank, through gravity, no needs of energy anymore, through gravity the water flows to taps that we install throughout the village. By now we're installing between 10 to 15 of them, and it can go, the water flows up to 3 kilometers. So we're talking about very, very, very large villages of thousands of people that are now, simply by turning the tap, get access to clean water. And then after then, we install an extra tank in the same village, but this time the water, the tank is only for the drip irrigation that we bring from Israel. From Netafim, I work closely with Netafim, and now that we provided water to the villagers, we also would like to provide them with a way to grow more food with less water. So very simply, drip irrigation, we train the women, and we are seeing the economic development in the village. I must say that after 3 to 4 months after, we see changes in the village. The main change is children. Children, first of all, are clean, and they go to school, especially girls. They don't have to search for water anymore. They go to school. People are healthier, yes? But the most importantly, I'm always inspired by the number of businesses that is created in a village, especially by women. The women are creating businesses and they are making money. The village become rich. The men business, who can guess? What's the main business? Once we have water, what we can do? To do agriculture. And then can you sell the surplus to the market? They do. What's the second business, in your opinion, once we give them water? What we can do as a business? Good you're not in the village. Good you're not in the village. The second business is making bricks, guys. Making bricks. You have land, you have water, you can make bricks, you sell the bricks. This is Florence. She's from Kuluni village in Uganda. She has 6 kids. She's selling each one of the bricks for 3 cents each, and she is making tons of money. The kids have shoes, they go to school, and so on. And here's Alice. And she is taking care of her livestock. And because of the water, there is better nutrition. The cow is providing more milk. So they are selling more milk and she's making more money and so on. The other issues, I'm a mother of 3 kids today. The other issues that we are trying to take care of is the medical centers. You see, there is no electricity. No electricity meaning no light, but also no refrigeration. No refrigeration, there is no vaccines and medicines, right? But we can solve it with only 2 solar panels. That's it enough to bring enough light inside the medical center, outside of the medical center, and provide enough energy to a small fridge so that now they can get access to vaccines and medicines. Again, very cheap, very simple. The solution exists. It's just a matter of bringing it there. And in schools, if you want to become anybody, it's quite difficult. Now you see those kids on the first row? They are the richer they're richer than the classmates because they're the one who provided more money to buy the kerosene lamp. So that's why they're closer. But it was a big classroom. And people do not have light in their home. It's quite expensive to buy kerosene or candles. So they all gather together at night. And this is secondary school. And let's try one more video, sir. And that will be to show you solar installation on a school. It's a time lapse. Now, I must say I failed many times. The main reason why I failed is because when I started, I forgot something quite small but important. Who can guess why I failed at the beginning, 9 years ago? Yes, my love? Oh, not that and not that. I failed that after. No, I failed at the beginning for something that is quite cuckoo, I have to say. I should have thought about it. You see, I brought solar energy to a school medical center. That was the first year. But I forgot something. I forgot the what? The light bulbs. Is that true? They burned out. Who is going to replace the light bulbs? You know, the question is not who is going to actually literally replace the light bulb, and who is going to pay, is that true, to buy new light bulbs? Can the students afford to buy light bulbs? No. Can we count on the government to come all the way to the village to change the light bulbs? Should I fly from the US, I was a student, to change the light bulbs? No one did it. Everything failed. They didn't have the money, right? I went back, I was quite disappointed. I'm in the village, and then I found the solution. They don't have shoes, they don't have much food, but what do they have in their hands? Excuse me? Cell phones, that's correct. They have cell phones. You know that in Africa right now there is over 400 million cell phones. And they did, and I was curious. I was curious because I couldn't understand where they charge their phones. Is that true? There is no energy. How do you charge your phone? So this guy, actually, the one that you see have, this one, he came. I asked the question, and he came to me and said, I am the guy in charge of collecting the cell phones, and I am taking all of them, and I'm going to another village far away. I said, that's good. Is there electricity in the other village? He said, no, but there is a car. And we are using the battery of the car to charge the phone. I said, is that so? How much you pay for that? He said, 15 cents. I said, you know what? Why don't you bring all the phones to the school? Now that I've installed solar energy, why don't you charge your cell phones, and the money, you pay 15 cents, but that money, the management of the school will keep to maintain the system. Is that a good idea? That was the first day. And that was after 3 days. I must say, quite a business. Maya mentioned that we have received an award from the United Nations. Let me tell you, I spoke for 5 minutes, I mentioned Israel 20 times, and yet we got the award, which was a miracle, a miracle. And the reason why they gave us the award, because no one can deny that in Israel we do have the best technology. One of which we have created in our office here in Herzliya Pituach. We have a team of engineers that we have created that box that we install on every solar system in the villages, which sends information allowing us to remotely monitor all of the projects. So meaning that at any time, we know how much energy is being produced, consumed, how much water was pumped, how much was used, and if something breaks, like you can see here, we get alerts on the phone. We have a large team of local engineers and local managers in every country that we trained, and they are there to fix it. Now, I wanted just to add the following. First, if you want to volunteer, we need help. If you want to come to Africa, we need help. To adapt a village, and we have a long list of villages waiting, doesn't take that much money. $18,000, that's all what it takes to actually provide solar energy to an entire school, to the teacher's home, or to a medical center, or to an orphanage. We can use help, especially adapting, naming the school, traveling with us, being there where you see what you have done for a large amount of people that are in need. Also, the 1 million people that we helped, they've never heard of Israel before. Yeah? Most of the time, we are the face of Israel they see. If they heard about Israel, it's from the Bible. And sometimes they think that we are the Mashiach. We're answering God's prayers different. So we would like you to come and be involved. On Facebook, we are over 330,000 people. Jenna here. Jenna, say hello. Stand up. Jenna is our communication director. She's terrific. We have many followers. We would like you to follow us. We would like you to help us. We need the help. And I just wanted to say that you should be proud of coming to Israel, being part of Israel, because Israel is doing good things in the world. Thank you all for listening.